Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading. I am so sorry for all the neglect on my part. um, I don't know, I feel like doing personal readings, my energy was low. I mean, going through Aries season, I could have predicted the same energy kind of across the board. A lot of stuff coming up. I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to go there. Save my energy. Anyways, here I am back. Doing your reading. We'll do a general spread and then we'll do a love reading. So if some of you are single or looking for love or concerned about love, doesn't necessarily have to be singles, but if I kind of speak about it in that way, I feel like you guys are smart enough. You can interpret it for yourself. I'll try to do that as well. So I'm going to focus on the cards today. Like what's makeup anymore? What is dressing up? What is getting out of sweatpants? What does that mean? My mother cut my hair. Let's just focus on the cards. All right, what are the messages for Taurus for the month of May? What are the messages for Taurus? Adventure. Oh my goodness, how ironic. The heart song. Do it now. So, there. Bottom of the deck, healing. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of been the general consensus, kind of this incubation period where we're all healing. We're all focusing on the stuff that just wants to come out, whether it's kind of triggered by fear, whether it's triggered by isolation, financial stress, whatever it is. There is this healing. I do feel like, I mean, my tendency is always to put a positive swing on it because I feel everything is a teacher, and despite how hard it is, I feel like there's always a purpose and something good to come out of it. I guess that's maybe a testament to my faith, so I just kind of invite you to take some of mine and share in it. But looking at these cards, I feel like there's a breakthrough here for you guys, especially with this adventure card. Let me read it before I kind of go into my interpretation. It says, instead of seeing the current situation as an obstacle, try seeing it as an adventure. Explore all the possibilities. There are many more than you can currently imagine. Instead of seeing things as either black or white, try to explore all of the colors in between. And then it's heart song. What is your heart saying? Stop and listen. Your truth lies within the empty spaces between your thoughts. Your truth shines through from within your soul. Your truth is that which is eternal and unchanging. Your truth is love, and then do it now, prayer. So this is definitely manifesting energy, but I actually feel like plans in progress. Adventure card to me is absolutely adventure. Going on an adventure, planning for an adventure. Planning to go somewhere else than where you currently are, especially if you lost your job, for example, or maybe you don't even want to stay at the current job you're at. Maybe your former employees never fought for you or didn't treat you well. There's lots of circumstances where I feel like there's an opportunity, actually, because this has happened to a lot of people, where businesses, I do feel like, are going to open up and rehire again. So this might be your perfect storm to shift into an opening that's now open, that's perfect for you and somebody else has outgrown, or into a place maybe is no longer for somebody else but is right for you. Uranus and Taurus, right? We're in Taurus season. We're in it, right? We're in it. It's about the changes, and I've been predicting this forever. I've been predicting for Tauruses that passion projects become financially viable companies or ways to make money to achieve your dreams. I do feel like more of this is going to kind of build up energy. So if some things that you've been working on haven't been showing you the monetary, kickback that you hoped it would, I do think things are changing. I think we are going into a time period. I don't feel like it's just a phase. I feel like it's a way that we're all going to go back to, where We support smaller businesses. We support people doing it right. We support people that support other people. Move away from like big box companies. I mean, it's like a shift back to like the land, like the handmade things, the hand grown things, supporting the small people. Like I feel like this is your time for an adventure, for a new start, a new, venture even. What is your heart saying? Do it now. Make a plan now. Make even a website now. Look at that area you'd like to move to. Okay, let's get a general reading for Taurus. Because, especially for people in the US, we're getting, like I know, a lot of people kind of got boosts, especially if you have like middle income, right, where the government gave a recheck. So I feel like doing something really good with this and investing it back into yourself. I just did Aries reading. I don't know if you're connecting with Aries or if you have Aries in your chart, but they got really adventurous energy as well. They were looking for a partner to like travel with, to have fun with, to kind of put the work at the wayside, or the climbing, the corporate climbing to the wayside. And it's like a restructuring. How can I do this with incorporating things that matter to me, which is partnership and love? I feel very similar energy actually with you guys. I'm wanting to experience more life, more fun, more living, because what have we been all faced with? Our mortality, and that's a game changer. It's actually quite powerful. Okay, what's the general energy for Taurus? Give me a general spread for the sun sign of Taurus. You can apply this obviously to any part of your chart. What is the energy for Taurus for the month of May? Oh, and happy birthday. I knew this card would come out. Oh my gosh, look at the bottom of the deck as I say this. I mean, happy birthday. The Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if you guys remember. Maybe it just continually came out in my personal reads, but I do remember some general reads where I kept getting the Wheel of Fortune and it kept speaking to the month of May where things shift. And if you listen to my kind of, virus rant that I did a month ago, I took it down just because YouTube was deleting controversial topics left and right and channels and demonetizing, and I just didn't want to deal with that BS. I predicted the opening would not last because initially they were saying, oh, the end of the summer, maybe even next year, we'll be locked down forever. I was like, no, May starts, things open. And it's happening. It's lovely. I'm happy for that. Obviously, be very careful. If you have a compromised immune system, please isolate yourself. But I do feel like things need to change, though, especially for life. I feel like the shift has happened for a lot of us. I would say direct your energy towards, gosh, the Wheel of Fortune. This is Major Arcana. What can I say about this? This is meant to happen now. So, again, take some of my faith, because I believe it's supposed to happen now. And it's... There's something really driving this force behind you where, even though it's hard, I feel like a lot of changes have been internally made for you, and resolve has been made for you to live life to the fullest. I mean, that's what it is. The Wheel of Fortune, it's like, there's literally a devil at the bottom of this Wheel of Fortune. This is heavy lessons, crummy experiences, opportunities for growth disguised in, really difficult situations. Eventually, this turns, and I've been feeling this for May for months, and it's attached to the wish fulfillment. What have you been wanting to change? I feel a lot of you have been wanting this change in regards to relationships, especially relationships, but really the structure of your life. I feel specifically work and how you find joy. to me, this is a paradigm shift. I mean, if you don't believe we're in the Great Awakening, well, get a reading from me. I'll have you believing. I'm just kidding. You'll see it. I mean, nobody gets left behind in this shift. It's going to happen. You don't leave anybody behind. Spirit doesn't leave anybody behind. Nobody's forgotten this time around. We all incarnated, in my opinion, to witness this period in time. Disguise is a really difficult point, a nexus point for all of us. I mean, if you've gone through your spiritual awakening, that's what it feels like. It feels like all the walls are crumbling around us. Wheel of Fortune here, though. Goodness. With the Knight of Swords, yeah. Some of you might be connecting with an Aries. I'm kind of getting that vibe. But this is kind of like the go-getter, the person that wants to have fun. I feel like you're emanating this energy, so you're going to attract in somebody like this. But regardless, we're not talking about love right now. This is like when things open, we are in our truth. We know what direction we want. I feel like a newfound even confidence. I feel taking advantage of new opportunities and feeling fearless in going in that direction. This is also hindering you because if you're not feeling that, amp yourself up to feel that way. You can have it. Stop believing the old timeline, the old storyline. We're now on the highest timeline. We did the clearing. We did the healing. I mean, you're a Taurus. Look what happened to Mother Earth. You can see the canals in Italy, the jellyfish swimming by. I mean, it is healed. You are Taurus. You are Mother Earth. I mean, look at this adventure. This is in your subconscious. Some of you can just be planning an adventure in your heart, planning your expansion, planning what joy looks like, planning the new possibilities. This is what your subconscious is inviting you to recognize, though. It's showing up because it's not self-realized yet. This is looking into the future optimistically, though. And it invites you to make this conscious decision to make it so. The Three of Wands. Past experience. So this is, I feel like indicative of the entire, what the F year we all went through as Tauruses. I mean, the Six of Wands, right, is somebody coming back from battle and being successful. It's like that lesson in the karma book has been learned. We passed the test, we aced it, we moved on, we went to the next grade. I mean, it's success here. We're seeing things from a heightened perspective that we needed to see from that heightened perspective because we set the goals, the standards so high. Nothing was able to match in the past. That's why it fell away. It's not because you're not worthy. It's because it had to fall away. It had to change. You had to reinvent yourself. You had to reinvent your mind, I feel. Look at this cards. I'm sorry, I'm like giggling. So you have the Chariot. Again, Aries had this card as well. And you know, interesting thing I was feeling about this card, it's kind of the energy I felt for myself a few years ago. I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I needed a change, and I knew I didn't want to go back to corporate America. So I found this, what did I find? I found this Holiday Inn airport passenger van, but it had super low miles, so I ripped everything out from inside. I put some wood floors and velour paneling on the sides. It was very girly. I had tulip curtains, solar panels, and I took myself and my dog alone, and we just kind of went across America, exploring nature, visiting friends. And in that time, we came to a lot of realizations. I say we, like me and my dog, me. Um, I'm kind of getting this vibe here. I mean, it doesn't have to be that, obviously, but the chariot is moving forward very confidently with with a mission, with a direction. But there's a level of excitement and assuredness with this, self-assuredness, that it's my time. If not now, when? I mean, being faced with your own mortality, I mean, very heavy, very helpful. Very helpful. This is exciting. This is absolutely that first adventure card coming out. I mean, some of you can be thinking about moving. Where would I go? Some of you can be thinking about taking a trip with somebody because maybe um, there hasn't been a lot of that joy in the past, or that emphasis on just, seeing parts of the world, seeing nature, experiencing the mountains. It doesn't have to be far and wide. You don't have to go to India, but this to me feels like a restructuring of importance to you. I feel a sense of fearlessness when I'm looking at these cards. I hope you do too. Of course, the Empress is here. This is that self-assuredness. I mean, the Empress is sitting on her throne. You don't get to be the Empress by... It's with wisdom. You just don't, you're not born into this seat. This is given to you. This is given to you by many tests of worthiness, in my opinion, because it's like a chair of knowledge. She's a master of abundance. She brings things towards her. She knows she finally deserves everything. She's ready for love. She's in nature. So a lot of you that, especially if you're in like a super packed city, I feel like there might be like a thought there that I might want to move towards like the suburbs or something like that. Might not be for some of you, but I don't know, I'm just seeing that within the Empress. She's kind of in the forest, very happy, very abundant. This is also, I mean, the Empress is the mama, so some of you can be thinking about, I haven't been a parent up until now, maybe I'd like that in the future. I'm just going to go forward, if not now, when? I'm ready for this change. I'm hopeful about the future. I'm ready for success. Let's just do it. Especially those of you that are of age and, want that. The Empress, though, I just want to say, because this has been surrounding Taurus forever, own business, own business, own business, or starting something. It doesn't have to be an overnight success, but just starting something, planting that seed of intention for yourself. You are worthy. I mean, goodness gracious, I don't know if you can see this. What's in your position of power? The Fool, taking a leap of faith. I want to say this year, make 10, 15, 20 wishes when you blow out that candle. The Fool is a really big leap of faith. This isn't just like, I'm trying to think of an analogy and nothing's coming to mind. This is a big life-changing step, leap of faith into the complete unknown. It's a risk, I want to say, that you should do. Do it. What could happen? What could happen? Taurus, you are so good with money. You are so good with saving money, allocating money. The Fool to me is following the heart. Most importantly, it's following what feels like sunshine. And when that happens, there's inevitable growth. This is a renewed sense of faith, but this is also tying right back to do it now. Oh my goodness, Taurus, what the universe is giving you is like conflict. Why is that happening? This is like the tendency for the rational mind to create scenarios where it won't work. So I feel like that's where you're going through now. Maybe I don't have enough experience. Maybe I don't, I'm not smart enough. Maybe that's too hard. Just do it. Just do it. You handle business step by step. That's your genius, handling business. Anyways. All right. What you need to know, there's a little bit of resistance, and it's clearly showing up in what the energy is surrounding you in the universe right now. And what you need to know is there's there's this resistance that I feel like eventually caves. And I actually feel like there's a little bit of prohibitive energy right now, but the seeds of intention towards moving in a certain direction are absolutely here. Hold this in your heart. And I feel like this is still part of that healing card that comes up as your overarching theme. This last seeds of resistance that it might not all work out. Those are leaving you. Again, I can't put a heavier emphasis on what a magnificent transition we are going through in the world right now. It's the awakening. It is. Because your outcome is the Queen of Wands. Literally another message of following what feels like sunshine. Look at what she's holding representatively in her hand, an actual sunflower, right? The sunflower follows the sun all day long. And when it's not following the sun, what does it do? It looks to its fellow sunflower. I love the symbology of sunflowers. I mean, this is the highly intuitive woman, and her genius is following her passion, what's in her heart, what her gut says. Taurus, you know that this is your superpower, and you can handle business along the way. I mean, I can only speak from experience. I left my comforts of New York. Zero plan. I just knew I needed to go, so I don't recommend that part. Zero plan. But I had a direction, I had a feeling in my heart, and along the way I handled it. I handled it. Obstacles came in and I handled it. You guys have that in you. This is exciting. Okay, let's go into love. I mean, I feel like you guys are like ready, especially if you're not experiencing love. It's like beyond ready for love. Not thirsty, but like beyond ready. That's funny, that clarification just popped into my mind when I was saying it with such enthusiasm. But even if you're partnered, like beyond ready to experience more fun, more love, more enjoyment, more abundance, more life, more life. We've all been in this period of what wasn't working. Let's look at that. Look what wanted to fall out again for you. It was the wheel. Well, it was the Wheel of Fortune. Let me keep shuffling because I'm not taking 4. What are the messages for Taurus in their love life? What are the messages for Taurus in their love life? Yeah, ready to build with somebody. Or already building with somebody, but ready for that person that's there ground up. When I think ground up, I think friendship. I think caring, nurturing, somebody that's there for you. That's the basis that makes a successful relationship. Find people that feel like that. This is slower. just as I say slower, there comes the Ace of Wands. So it's not that you're not going to be attracted to this person, because you absolutely are. But I feel like the desire to take this slow, it's like there's this fine balance, because you're going to be very attracted to this person. If you're already with somebody, you're very attracted to somebody, building, and I feel like this is attractive, and you're more attracted to that person because you're growing together. I mean, that's the Taurus aphrodisiac, right? Somebody that wants to build with you, build that empire, be your emperor to your empress. This is here, but it's like throw into the mix the Ace of Wands. First, this is somebody that wants to create with you, but this is also, there's that desire, and I feel like it doesn't help that Taurus, especially single Tauruses, have been pent up for a while. Oh, this reading's funny. This is what y'all get when I take some time off. Things get a little weird. All right. Okay. You're being invited right now to still, I don't know how it's still here, but it still creeps back around, to realize that you deserve this. I feel like the Seven of Pentacles, where you're not satisfied right now, it's just coming up to the surface. So if you've been going through this quarantine and it's like these waves of emotion of like, I'm alone, like how come it hasn't happened? It's been, you know, how many years, or it's been how many months, and it's just been these fluctuations of peace with it, and then extreme, I feel like, sadness, maybe mixed in with a little bit of hopefulness. Um, I feel like that's changing here. The forced internal reflection is actually bringing about this justice, because the justice is setting the tone here. The truth actually wanting to come through, and the scales being rebalanced for you. But what we need to work through is the lack and the dissatisfaction, bringing that to the surface, making that conscious, and doing the internal work, which you guys are wonderful at. But to me, this feels like still some just residual. Oops, sorry. Okay, near future, the Fool. So some of you absolutely can be connecting with an Aries, and I feel like Aries and Taurus do really well together. It doesn't need to be their sun sign, but this is somebody that's, I feel like, ready to take a leap off into the deep end of love. So are you. Like, enough of the games, enough of the dissatisfaction, enough of the woe is me, enough of the that's not fair, I'm wounded, enough of it, we're over it, we've healed. Even if we're still healing, we're healed. the Fool. I mean, this is ready to go. I feel like ready to go. You don't see the person yet, especially if you're single, but it's coming in. You need to let the past conditioning go to have the successful relationship that you want. Because I do feel like it's going to come in quite quickly. It's like one day you're single, one day you meet somebody. And it does happen that fast, right? You know, things can happen and change in a day. I feel like what you're headed towards is a whole new paradigm, and it's showing up in the position of what you need to know with the Wheel of Fortune here. Moving out of the Five of Swords, you know, looking back to how stuff didn't work out in the past. Even if you're already in a relationship, it's like, let that go. How can we restructure this? How can we live life? How can we take risks together to build ourselves? You know, nothing worth having comes easy, so let's do this. Let's go there. And I feel like even that in regards to love and dating, because I do feel, you know, Taurus has this little bit demure kind of way when they date. I mean, it's hard to even know a Taurus has a crush on you. They'll probably just ignore you, right? I feel that's shifting. We're ready, and I feel like a lot of you are ready for some action, and a lot of you are ready for some movement. So it's just like, kind of like, what the heck? Let's take this leap of faith, excuse me. Let's invest in something. We're ready to invest in something. And I feel like, you know, a lot of single people have made this decision as well. Again, going back and reflecting over what they have in life, especially single people. Oh, your job drops you after week 2 of quarantine. Like, that's out the window. So what do I have left? What's important? I don't have the friendship, the partnership that I need. I feel like a lot of people are coming out of this really ready to go, ready for what's most important. This is nice. This is in your favor because you're more than ready. You've done the work. And again, you've elevated yourself to that vibration that you're going to attract somebody there that's done the work as well. Make sure they've done the work. Make sure they know what you want, because Taurus rarely wants anything less than the Four of Wands. Rarely. That commitment, that happiness, that building towards something, towards happiness, towards things that matter, the fun. I feel like I truly feel like there's an infusion of fun and enjoyment and joy and adventure in your life. So remember that. Have more of that. Invite people on that, especially, I mean, even if you're single, if you're going on a trip, invite your friends. It doesn't have to be like a love interest. I love these cards for you. Oh, I didn't do this for Aries. I'm sorry, Aries. I forgot. I'm going to pull a Mystical Shaman Oracle card for you guys, just because, well, it's your birthday, and I'm trying to learn this deck. What is one more message for Taurus? What's one more message for Taurus? This one. The wind. And the bottom of the deck is Holy Mountain. That might mean something to somebody. What does the wind mean? Oh gosh, I don't have my glasses on. Okay. The symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thought, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change, with qualities both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. South, carrying new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions and to let go of attachment and ego desires. North, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. And East, carrying clarity of vision and purpose. Whichever the way the wind is blowing for you, the message which the wind whispers or shouts is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exhilaration in moving towards it and receiving its lessons. Yeah, this is like willing to go with the winds of change, willing to take a risk. And I feel like when your guards are down and you're open, magic happens. The invitation, it says, when the spirit of the wind comes calling, it's a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something. Perhaps an old way of doing things has become automatic. And now that you've gained greater clarity, you can make a new choice. Regardless of what the change is, you can expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others at this time. Ideas are solid, and the shift that is being called for is in the highest good of all. The medicine. When wind comes as medicine, you're being invited to recognize the value of chaos. Windstorms provide necessary chaos to clear the air and spread seeds so plants and trees can take root in new fields. Right now, it may seem as if your world has been turned upside down, but this is a temporary storm that will blow over. Perhaps communication is broken down between you and another, or your many to-do lists are overwhelming you. The medicine is to simplify, slow down, course correct if needed to, and wait out the storm to clean things up. Just know that all storms have great value if you can remain neutral during their course. Greater clarity and good things will come from it all. Remember, this too shall pass. Beautiful, beautiful card, very appropriate. This is actually getting me really excited. So if you're still in that phase where you're feeling confusion and things are really jumbled and not sure how things are going to work out, lean towards that energy of dreaming, love, faith, the possibilities. I'm excited for you guys. I'm a Taurus. I'm excited for me. I have no idea what the heck's going to happen. So there's fun in that too. It's an unwritten book. All right, Taurus, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Beautiful messages. I will link below if you do want a reading from me. I think I'm going to limit my, slow down my personals just because they've been keeping me busy. And I'd like to do more YouTube. I've been neglecting it a bit. And I'm at this quarantine. I mean, I'm at home with my parents, and my father's a Capricorn. He's kind of like a little bit of a workhorse driver. Puts me to work every day. So just trying to find a balance energetically. So I will put a link below if you're interested still. Otherwise, I'll be back with more. Thanks for kind of hanging in there with me, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, Taurus.